Saturday, August the 7th, Ian Cameron, Conor Mac, and our weekend warrior special guest, Sharpie, with us as well, ready to break down the Saturday MLB card, a big Saturday slate as we always have. And look, I'm excited for another reason. I will be in attendance at one of these games on this Saturday card. Yes, I will be at Rogers Center for the second game of the day-night doubleheader between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. Very much looking forward to that. I got a good luck of the draw, too, because the one pitcher I wanted to see pitch in person for the Blue Jays is the guy pitching in the game I'll be at, Jose Barrios. So I was very, very happy to see that. So, young kid, he pitched well in his first start. So looking forward to that. I'll be at the second game. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll see if we can find some winners here on this Saturday MLB card. First live sporting event, too, for me since the pandemic started. So that's why I feel that extra little energy, too, because it's certainly been a fucking while since I've been in a stadium or arena or anything like that. So it'll be nice to get back there. Let's get to it. We've got a bunch of day games. We'll start with the first game on the board, Seattle Mariners, New York Yankees, Chris Flexen on the mound here for the Mariners. Andrew Heaney, the lefty for the Yankees. We've got the Yankees about a -200 favorite here at the Bronx Yankee Stadium, total 10. I ain't laying this price with Andrew Heaney. That much I know. Andrew Heaney earlier this week, by the way, getting rocked by the Baltimore Orioles. Not a good sign for him. A lefty here pitching in Yankee Stadium. Just struggled in this last start and not the pitching form that I trust. And let's be honest, the Yankees lineup, they were shut down, not just struggled. They got shut down by Marco Gonzalez last night, who has obviously had, for the most part, a rough season. So I ain't laying this price with Heaney or the Yankees. The question is, can you get behind Flexen here today? Flexen hasn't been as good on the road compared to his performances in Seattle. The Yankees, their lineup is capable of doing damage against him, but, Flexen at times has been solid for this Mariners team. So, tough loss for Seattle yesterday. They had the lead, couldn't hold it. Yankees win in extras. See if the Mariners bounce back here. But I'll tell you right now, Seattle or dog or pass for me at this number. I ain't endorsing Andrew Heaney as -200 chalk. I would lean Mariners and slightly over. But I'm telling you what, Yankees are not going over these days as of late. First two games of this series stay under the total. So I don't love that total being as high as it is right now, 10 across the board. Just a lean for me, Seattle. Probably going to stay off the game, though. What do you think here, Conor Mac? Mariners and Yankees.
Yeah, Heaney's the big question mark. I mean, he can't be backed. Not at this price. I get the Yankees, they won a few games. But I still don't buy them. They're going to really need all those bats and all those guys to stay healthy, I think, to keep winning. They still don't have the pitching because they're bringing out a guy named Andrew Heaney today. So I like the under a little bit too, but it's tough with Heaney. The first 5 under 5.5, I kind of looked at, but this is just the Mariners for me. I know Flexen's had trouble on the road, but he bounced back after getting ripped by the Astros his last start. I just trust him, the better pitcher. Mariners average against lefties we talked about haven't been good, but I think they have a winning record against him, and I think they can get to Heaney today. So I like the Mariners' first 5. I'd rather just go there. I think the Yankees still have a bullpen edge a little bit. Yankees haven't been still ripping the ball. They had that one game where they scored 13 runs. I don't trust them. But, I'd definitely be on the Mariners here. Mitch Haniger, 8 for 20 with 3 homers. Definitely a Jack of the Day guy. And give a shout-out to the chat. Sabino, appreciate the dono, the $4.99. Everyone hit the like, hit the share, hit all that shit so Sharpie can burn his face off like he says.
That's
like
right.
Michael Jackson's second surgery.
The second surgery.
You're stealing your material here, Sharpie. That's not right.
Sorry. I knew he was going to go for it.
Hey, no cuss until after the first 5 minutes is my rule from the boss, Mr. Elliott. So, it's been 5 minutes.
But no, 5 minute warning. 5 minute warning for Sharpie. But
because the YouTube,
see what you're saying
YouTube
now,
has
Connor,
bots.
I see what you're saying, Connor, with the Seattle first 5. I think that might be worth a look. At least to put a couple of bucks on it. They are 14-6, by the way, in 20 games with Flexen on the mound. This Seattle team. So we'll see if they can add to that today. Sharpie, what do you like in this game?
I'm saying all the numbers are pointing towards Seattle, guys. They've got the better bats, they've got the better bullpen, and they're the underdog. This is Heaney, guys. He was an Angel for how long? These Seattle Mariners eat Heaney, guys. They've been hitting this guy for the last few years. They've got really good numbers on him. I can't take them at that nice dog price because I don't have big balls today. It's Saturday. I got small shriveled up ones from last night, guys. So I'm going to take Seattle plus 1.5 at minus 110. I mean, I don't think they lose this game. Really, I think they're the better team. I feel a lot safer with that 1.5. So I'm taking Seattle plus that 1.5.
All right, excellent. Yeah, Seattle, a little bit more insurance, a little bit more cushion there. Seattle plus 1.5, full game run line. Yeah, definitely. I would agree with what also Connor said about Mitch Haniger and Kyle Seager. Definitely Jack of the Day, home run prop candidates in this game. Battle of the North Side versus the South Side in Chicago. The White Sox and the Cubs. Carlos Rodon, Adbert Alzolay, the pitching matchup. White Sox minus 210. Road favorites here. The total 8.5 shaded to the over. I'm not going to spend a lot on this game. If you want to bet it, if you insist on betting it, for me it would be only White Sox minus a 1.5. I don't want to back this Cubs team. I have not backed this Cubs team one single time since the All-Star break, and I'm not about to start now. I'll be honest. This is one series, even though they traded everybody or a lot of key guys and they're out of it. This is a series where, you get up to play the White Sox, an in-city rivalry, and you saw that yesterday. Cubs put up a fight, but unfortunately they still fell short. They rallied off Kimbrel. Not a good day for Craig Kimbrel. One of the few really rough showings he's had all season long, but the White Sox survive and get the win. I just don't want the Cubs, period. And Alzolay's been up and down lately. Can't trust him. He labored in his last start against the Nats. Rodon's been good. Rock solid, and he's in the Cy Young race in the AL. So he wants to keep the pedal down keep his foot on the gas pedal because he's got a chance to contend for a Cy Young. And if he can have a strong finish to the season, he could absolutely put his name in the mix there to maybe win that award. So for me, it would only be White Sox run line. Don't love it, but maybe get involved small with a wager on the White Sox run line here. What do you think here, Conor Mac, Cubs and White Sox?
We'll see, though, with Rodon. So good early. Maybe the innings are starting to get to him. Maybe he was the guy that used his spider tech a little bit. He said he didn't, but the White Sox are minus 200. I just can't do it here. And I don't love the Cubs either with Alzolay at home, but I'd only be on them. I just can't take the White Sox. I know they won yesterday. I like them in certain spots, but not on the road, not here. His last two starts in Milwaukee, 4 innings. 4 hits, 2 earned runs, but at Kansas City, only 4 innings again, 4 earned runs. I just don't like what he's doing. I would rather wait for him to pitch better. I don't want him minus 200 on the road here. I get people, the White Sox, have burned me a little too much, taking them in spots like this. So this is a stay off or take the dog at home.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit surprised. This may be an over here because you're looking at 8.5, and the wind is actually blowing out a little bit here. And usually when the wind's blowing out at Wrigley Field, it's going to be like 10 at least, the total. But we're seeing it blowing out to left center field. 5, not a big wind, 6 miles per hour, but it's still blowing out. It's going to be a humid day in Chicago. So I'm just a little bit surprised the total's that low. 8.5. And I know Rodon's got a good ERA, he's had a good year overall, but still a little bit low, I think, that total. Maybe you could look over. What do you think here, Sharpie?
Man, I think if I was to bet this game, I'd take the White Sox over 2.5 first 5, guys. It's minus 120, but Alzolay has given up 3 or more runs in 6 out of 7 starts since Spider Tack, guys. Like straight up. 3 or more runs every time. It's guaranteed in the book. If you really want to take the team total at 5.5 full game plus money, can't hate you there. They got just as bad of a bullpen to go right behind Alzolay. So, like I said, he's a bitch. He's like the drink Alizé from now on out, guys. Until he changes his stuff, bro, I cannot bet on Alizé, guys. He is a giver up of the runs. He likes to give up the runs. And give me the team total right there. But shout out to the chat, guys. We got over 100 in here, only 30 likes. Smash that like button, guys. Like I smashed them BBWs. It was Friday night, so I had 2. So hit it twice if you can.
Master,
all right,
harpoon
awesome.
master.
Yeah, smash that like button.
whale
very
harpoon.
important.
Hey, and a quick thing on Kimbrel. I was watching that game yesterday. Kimbrel's allowed 4 hits in his career 2 times, guys, and yesterday was one of them. The guy just maybe it's because he played for the Cubs, the nerves or whatever, guys, but he won't pitch today because how many pitches he threw.
Yeah, maybe the White Sox, they've showed a little bit last day they start hitting because they were kind of in this bad slump. Maybe they start rolling here, and a guy like our Alizé can get rocked today.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes here in this one, but definitely issues at the moment for this Cubs team. Obviously, they've not played good ball since the deadline, as you would expect. Boston Red Sox, Toronto Blue Jays, Nick Pivetta, Robbie Ray, first of a doubleheader, 2 7-inning games today between these two teams. Nick Pivetta, Robbie Ray on the mound. You've got the Blue Jays minus 160, home favorites. Total is 7, shaded to the under. Again, a big reason for that is because of the fact it is a doubleheader. When you look at this, it's to me, this is hot versus cold. Simple as that. And I'm not making a case for the cold team with this Red Sox team. They are cold as ice. They're willing to sacrifice the AL East. I think they are because they're not going to win the division. They're not going to win that division against the Rays. Rays are going to, I think, end up pulling away here. He is better on the road. Someone mentioning that in the chat. He is, absolutely, Pivetta, 3.41 ERA. That's the good news for him. The bad news for him is 7.59 ERA and 4 starts against the Jays this season. In 6 career starts against them, 6.82 ERA. So this lineup has caused him grief. There's no question. And Springer 4 for 5 against Pivetta, and he just can't be stopped right now. Bo Bichette 7 for 12 and 2 jacks against Pivetta. Vlad Guerrero 4 for 11 and a home run against him. Same with Simeon, 4 for 11 and a home run against Nick Pivetta. A lot of good numbers for Blue Jays hitting against him. And on the flip side, you got Robbie Ray. Battled through some, he wasn't at his absolute, lights out the last start, but he battled and he still went 6 innings and only gave up 2 runs. He gave up 1 run to Boston and shut them down in the start before that at Fenway Park. Blue Jay, he's been really good. I mean, he's given up 3 runs over his last 25 plus innings. All right. Just 3 runs in his last 25 plus innings. There's no way I'm looking at anything but Toronto here. But I would look first 5 innings minus a half a run. That's the way I would go for better value. You can get that right around even money. The Blue Jays laying the half a run in this game, minus 125. So the Red Sox 1-7, their last 8. The Blue Jays, the exact opposite, 7-1 in their last 8 games. So just going to ride it. The hot team and the Red Sox are cold right now. I don't want any part of them at the moment till I see them showing a sign of a turnaround. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Game 1, Red Sox, Blue Jays.
Man, doubleheader, I feel about them. Don't like them. But these pitchers, what have they gone? This is the 5th time they started here. I mean, it's crazy. And Robbie Ray did have a good start, his last one. Pavetta's given up at least 3-4 every single start against the Jays. Both teams just ripped these guys. If I were to bet, I know there was a ton of runs last night. I see that 7. And even in a 7-inning game, I'd lean over here with these pitchers. Robbie Ray, I watched it. He gave up 2 runs to the Indians. There should have been a 3rd run. He was safe at the plate, and he could have gave up 5. And those last few starts, he's walked 3. I know he ended up striking out 4 that game, but he didn't look right. He got out of some jams, and the Red Sox hit him, even though he did pitch well. Just July 28th, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. The Red Sox are going to win one of these games. So maybe you get this out of the way, Ian. So the second game when you're there, the Blue Jays win. Because they're going to win one here. I just don't know which one.
I wouldn't mind the Boston loss here. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Boston losing the first game because the pattern with these doubleheaders across the league is that the team that wins the first game loses the second. It doesn't always happen, but I find it happens more often than not that it's a split when it comes to these day-night doubleheaders. So hopefully,
ton of props in this game too. Yeah, keep going.
And Blue Jays win game 2. I could live with that. Look, if you think this Red Sox team has big-time starting pitching, you need your head examined. All right, 4/5 of this rotation is Perez, Pivetta, Garrett Richards, and it's ugly. And Eduardo Rodriguez. I mean, you must be kidding me. Is that some kind of joke that you might be going into the playoffs trotting that kind of rotation out there? That's not big-time pitching. Sorry, simple as that. It's just not. And now it's finally being exposed at this point in time. For what it is, and that's been the issue for the Red Sox during the slump. They're starting all these guys that have had these fly-by-night pitchers, are suddenly showing what their true colors. And look, we know Perez can't be trusted. We know Pivetta can't be trusted. He couldn't even stay in Philadelphia. We know Eduardo's messed up, and now we're starting to see that the Boston starting rotation, they've been smoke and mirrors most of the season, and now it's showing up. What do you think here, Sharpie, Red Sox and Jays?
I'm shout out to the chat once again, though. I appreciate it all, guys. We have 55 likes, 140 watching. Let's get that thing moving up, okay? But I'm with Matt Randall on this. He's on the over for this game. I took first 5 over myself. It's a 5, guys, but this is the third time in 4 weeks these pitchers are facing the same team. Like, that to me is an automatic play on over. I can't even look to the under if I wanted to bet it because it's the third time. They have 4 runs themselves every time versus Pivetta. I don't think Ray is going to be dominant Ray. I think Ray can give up 2-3 runs himself. I see easy 6-7 runs in the first 5. Yes, it's a doubleheader. Yes, Toronto scored a lot yesterday. That does worry me some. But I think the Toronto Blue Jays have really turned a corner, guys. I don't think they're score a bunch and not score again the next day. They're rolling. They're playing in Rogers Center. They're feeding off that crowd. So I'm going to keep riding these Blue Jays bats. I'm going to take the over.
At a 7, I agree. It's over. Like I talked about, the numbers are just crazy. Both these teams, these hitters, the Red Sox, Rip Ray, and Pivetta has just gotten hit by the Jays real hard. So at 7, I agree. Over.
And this seems like the one of the 2 games that would be the higher scoring game. Like, we'll get to the next game later, Houck and Barrios, but both of those guys are in pretty good form right now. And that one could be your lower scoring game of the 2. So, there could be some runs. And you're talking about, again, 7-inning game. That's why the total is 7. But all you got to do is get both teams to 3 runs minimum, and you cash your ticket. And also, it's worth noting, these 2 teams haven't had a day off in forever for the most part. So they've had a lot of bullpen usage. The Blue Jays couldn't use many of their best relievers last night because they've been used so much this week. So that's something to keep in mind. I mean, you got taxed bullpens as well going into this doubleheader today. Red Sox. This could be a live over situation in both of these games today with the Red Sox and Jays. These bullpens are taxed. They're spent. And maybe that shows up here today. We got the Mets and the Phillies. Tyler McGill, Ranger Suarez on the mound here. Phillies minus 115, home favorites, 9.5 the total in this one. This is the ultimate. Man, this is the ultimate conundrum for me because to me, McGill, I trust him more than Suarez. I know Suarez was pretty good last time he took the mound August 2nd against Washington, but he only goes 3 innings. He's not going to pitch much. You're going to see a lot of Phillies bullpen, and I don't like that. I think that's an advantage for the Mets. And look, McGill had finally a little bit of a rough start last time against the Marlins. 5 runs, 6 hits, 5 innings. It was his worst start since being part of this Mets bullpen, but he's still been good overall. I think McGill has the advantage from a pitching standpoint, and I'd lean Mets for sure. But I can't get past the fact the Mets stink right now. They stink out loud. Seriously, I mean, this is a team that's just playing miserable baseball at this point, and to the point where they have let the Phillies and they have let the Braves right back in it here in the NL East. They're a dismal, wretched 2-7 in their last 9 games. It feels like this is their spot. Could only back the Mets, but I am very much worried and definitely walking on eggshells thinking of placing a Mets bet today. I think they can finally get the win here. They have the advantage, but boy, they just can't get out of their own way right now, and it's a concern for me. So lean Mets, but I can't say I'm overly confident. What do you think here, Conor Mac, Mets and Phillies?
Yeah, this game's just a lean for me. Suarez went 3 innings against the Nats. If he probably will do that again. And he was actually been pretty good out of their pen. Lone guy for the Phillies at times. But yeah, they need him to start. It's like, oh shit, he's got to start and then bring all these scrubs in after him. Yeah, the Mets just look like crap right now. It's just a lean, but I'd be on McGill. I know he gave up 4 runs his last start. But I'd be on the Mets here. Suarez, once he's out after a couple innings, I think they need this win here today, because if the Phillies win, it just keeps getting harder and harder. And those guys, I don't know how soon, DeGrom, all these guys are coming back. I think it's going to be a while. So I lean the Mets in this one, plus 105 full game.
And a Phillies lineup could be shorthanded. Gregorius got hit in the elbow last night, questionable. Rhys Hoskins, questionable. So could be down a couple key bats, the Phillies. We'll have to wait and see. Sharpie, what do you think here?
I like hearing what you just said for my bet that I put in last night, guys. I'm on the first 5 under 5, guys. We got Ranger Suarez, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Went 3 innings versus the Washington, guys. Washington is like number 1 versus lefties, not striking out. Number 3 hitting versus lefties. Like, they're really good versus lefties. He held them down. I expect the same versus these Mets. These Mets aren't good versus lefties. They've been striking out a ton. Suarez's K props at 3.5 minus 105, guys. If he goes 3 innings, he gets 4. I mean, it is what it is. It's the numbers say that. So Miguel's going 5 innings himself. So they haven't seen him on Philly. That's why I really like this under first 5. They both got the advantages first time through. So yeah, give me 5. 5's a nice number too. I thought it was going to be 4.5. So I love the under 5 in this game.
I like it
All right.
at 5, and it's plus money. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
It probably could have been a 5.5 at minus 125. So I agree with you. Just Suarez get that 3. If he can get 3, because in 2 innings with somebody else. But I agree with you.
Yep.
All right, like in the first 5 under, we move to Texas and Oakland. In this one, it looks like it's Drew Anderson, Cole Irvin. Oakland minus 240, home favorites, 8.5 the total in this one. What an escape last night by Oakland, taking the victory 4-1 in extra innings. Very fortunate, too, if you had Oakland run line, because it took extra innings and to get that one home in the win column. Texas, finding ways to lose has been their mantra pretty much all season long. Cole Irvin on the mound for Oakland, 3.5 ERA, 3.84 at home. Drew Anderson will make the start here for the Texas Rangers. He started once, and it was years ago for Texas, 2018, and gave up 4 runs, 8 hits, 5 innings. We'll see how he fares here in this one for the Texas Rangers, but his only major league start was 3 years ago. We'll see how it goes here, but he's 27 years old now. And really, Chris Woodward's just saying, we like his stuff still. We know he's got a good arm. We're just going to see how he does. But at the same point in time, when you're 27, you were with this team initially back in 2018. And last I checked, they didn't really have a good rotation then either, Texas. And yet he still couldn't stick in the rotation, Drew Anderson. So how good can he be? Ends up being the question here in my mind. This should be, I think, maybe a spot for Oakland to hit a little bit, but we know what that's like with Oakland. They have games like last night where Fultonevich, stymies them, and that's what bothers me here. So I don't know. It's just there's not much value on Oakland. I don't really trust them enough to hit even Drew Anderson to go team total over. That would be the lean, but I'm probably going to pass the game. Connor, what do you think here, Texas and Oakland?
Yeah, the A's team total 4.5 minus 140. We'll see if it gets there. Yeah, I mean, they got to score 5 here. But Drew Anderson isn't anything good. That's why he's 27 years old, and he just hasn't cut it with any team. He has pitched well, though, his last few starts in the minors. 6 innings, July 24th, 8 innings, July 18th. Difficult one. I'd lean just under. I mean, A's could rip here. I don't know what's better, the first 5 at 4.5 or the full game under 8.5. I see the A's could really hit him hard and get this over. That's what I kind of worried about yesterday, but it didn't happen. But I don't trust the Rangers to score anything, even against Irvin here. I mean, this team can't put up any runs. They're going to score 0 or 1, it seems like lately, every game. So it'd be under here.
So you don't trust a team to score that scored 2 runs in their last 3 games? Because that's what it's been for the Texas Rangers. 2 runs in their last 3 games. Sharpie, what do you like here?
Man, we got 150 live, 62 likes, guys. Let's get it at least half and half. Smash it, guys, like I smashed them BBWs. 2 times in the morning, 2 times at night. I smashed 2 times in the afternoon. It makes me feel all right. But we on to
beautiful.
We're on to Cincinnati. No, I'm joking. All right, though. I started singing. My bad. What game are we on?
Picking up
Rangers A's.
A's. There we go. My bad. So yeah, like you said, the under 4.5. That was my first look, bro. I went straight to it and looked, and then I was like, whoa. And I had a little note on the Oakland. Last time Oakland went up against like a minor league fringe type of player. They smashed the crap out of him. I was on the other side. I was on Reed and the Angels thinking this kid was going to be good, blah, blah, blah. No, they hit kids, guys. They smash kids. I'm on the over 4.5 first 5. I first leaned under 4.5. Then when I dug into it some more, Irving gives up 2-3 runs every time, even versus Texas. Yes, Texas sucks. Yes, Texas can't hit. Irving just gives up 2 runs every time he pitches. It just is what it in his own division. If you go through all his own divisions, this guy just gets hit by his division. So if you give me 2 runs from him, I see easy 3 runs from Oakland. That 4.5, where I was going to bet the under, I'm on the over 4.5 there now.
All right, we got Tampa Bay, Baltimore, Rays, Orioles, McClanahan and Watkins on the mound here. Tampa Bay minus 210 to 220 home road favorites at Camden Yards. The total 10 shaded to the under here. McClanahan on the mound for the Tampa Bay Rays, who's been, he's pretty much what he is, right? He's going to go 5-6 innings on average, and he's going to give up anywhere from 1 to 3 runs. I mean, he's going to be serviceable. He's going to give your team a chance to win every time he's on the mound. That's essentially what he's done here for Tampa Bay. Decent numbers overall. Not great, but not terrible either. 3.74 ERA, 3.86 on the road against Baltimore this year. And has not faced Baltimore actually at all. So good news for him. Baltimore does hit left. We've talked about that, though. Against lefty pitching, Baltimore can do damage. 6.84 runs per game against lefties in their last 10. And overall for the year, they have always hit lefties better than righties. So could they do some damage against McClanahan? We'll see. Spencer Watkins, who, things are sort of coming apart for him. He had those brilliant first 3 starts. And I remember backing Watkins in Baltimore in a few of those games, but not the same in his last 2 starts. 8 runs over his last 9.2 innings against Miami and Detroit. Not exactly terrific teams, not exactly the best lineups in baseball, and Watkins got hit by both of them in his last 2 starts. So I'm tempted by the over. We had a high-scoring game last night. Orioles do hit lefties well. They could probably do some damage against McClanahan. Watkins is trending downward. Rays bats, 10 runs last night in that 10-6 win. Don't always like an over after a real high-scoring game the previous night, like this series, but I would lean over, if anything, here in this one. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Rays, Orioles?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tricky spot for me. McClanahan hasn't faced the Orioles. He's been good. I mean, this kid goes 5 or 6. Seems like he strikes out 6 or 7 just about every time. Orioles just have been hitting lefties, though. So if you like the Orioles, they got it done first 5 yesterday. I mean, ended up blowing it like normal. Lost the game. Rays scored a bunch of runs. They're late. I don't know. This game, I think, could be sleepy in the first 5 under 5.5 is in play. Watkins has to pitch better, though. He's just gotten hit by the Marlins, you said, and Detroit, giving up 4 each start. Or I could see a lot of runs. Right away, we could see runs. So just to lean here, I lean Orioles just at the value at home. First 5 plus 170, and nothing really on the total.
Yeah, and look at the two games for Baltimore this week against lefties. Andrew Heaney of the Yankees, they crushed him. Last night, Ryan Yarbrough of the Rays, lefty, they got to him. So there is something to that. Baltimore's been able to get the bats going against lefty pitching, and it's been that way, much of the season. Sharpie, what do you think here? Tampa, Baltimore.
Hey, shout out to the chat for smashing that like. We jumped 10 spots real quick, but Billy P in the chat threw out there's no Mountcastle in the lineup today, so take that into effect for the Orioles too. Good looking out on that, bro. Yep. I'm leaning towards the Tampa Bay team total. It's 5.5. It's minus 130. It's super juiced. I just don't see how they don't have 5.5 other than they scored 10 runs yesterday. When a team scores 10 runs, it's like, what are you going to do the next day? Are you going to be able to show that up? I mean, I was like Ian. I was on Watkins too, but the whole time Connor was saying, this guy sucks. Minor leagues, he's trash. Blah, 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 he's trash. And I'm like, well, he's freaking winning me money. He's winning me money. Well, I smashed my head into a wall and lost my money that I won back on him. And he's showing who he is, guys. These 2 teams faced off 15 days ago. I do not see Watkins showing that performance again. He's had 2 bad ones coming into this. He's going to get hit today, guys. I mean, whether they score 5.5, that's going to be the scary point. But I see the Rays winning this game. I just don't know how many, if they score 6 or not. But this is a Rays spot to me.
All right, second game of the doubleheader, and
there could be
will
rain there. Real quick, rain in that game, maybe 50% chance. So could stop. Just throw it out there.
Yeah, and when it comes to overs, that always bothers me when I see that it could be a rain delay. That's always a little worry that I have. And yeah, overcast is what we're seeing right now. Actually, it looks like we might avoid rain there, so we'll have to wait and see on that. We know we won't have rain in Toronto because I don't think it's going to rain here today. But even if it did, we got a roof, which is why. By the way, these stadiums in the Northeast, get a damn roof or get something.
It's got a hole in your roof.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Hole in the roof. Red Sox Blue Jays game 2 of this doubleheader. Tanner Houck and Jose Barrios. I will be there for it. Looking forward to it. We got the Blue Jays minus. It looks like in this one minus 150 home favorites. Total 7 once again. With this being again a 7-inning game. Now this is the second time the Jays have seen Tanner Houck. Remember this, and now we're going to see what Tanner Houck's all about. He's been very good. Can't deny that. Now, he doesn't pitch deep. He pitches 4 or 5 innings most games, but 2.45 ERA. However, this is one of the few times this year where you can say a team is going to get a second crack at him and a second look at him. And it's a very dangerous lineup, getting a second look at Tanner Houck. So how is he going to fare here against this potent, hot-hitting Jays team? The second time around after they saw him at Fenway just a couple of weeks ago. That's going to be the big question. Barrios was very solid in his Blue Jays debut. A couple of nerves early in the game against Kansas City, but boy, he settled down, pitched well after the early going. We'll see if he can keep it going here in this game. When you look at Barrios against the Red Sox, he faced them once this year in April. Rough go for him as a member of the Twins. It was way back in April, 4 runs, 4 hits, 4.1 innings. Not a great start for him, but his form right now is pretty good. Last 2 starts, just 2 runs and 13 innings. So he's pitched a lot better. Can he keep it going here? That remains to be seen. Once again, just like I said about the first game, with Toronto red hot, Boston ice cold, it's Toronto or pass for me. Again, this is contingent upon game 1. If Toronto loses game 1, I'm really going to like them here in game 2. If Toronto wins game 1, I'd probably still only look Toronto in game 2, but I probably won't bet it because of that situation we talk about where so many times game 1 winner of a doubleheader turns into a game 2 loser in the doubleheader. So keep an eye on that. It's all dependent upon what happens in game 1 for me. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Game 2, Sox and Blue Jays.
I'll just wait after game 1 here. Barrios minus 150. I don't love his last 2 starts have been good. When I see him though, he's good at times, but to me he's hittable. So interesting spot here in game 2. And I don't know about how much he can go. The Jays probably hit him. I want to see what goes on in game 1. Maybe it's lower scoring, but it's just a game I'm going to wait. Maybe Red Sox lose. Maybe I take him here in game 2. But a lot of these doubleheaders, I've only played about 4 all year. I doubt I'll be playing anything here.
Yeah, keep an eye, too, on this Rogers Center for Barrios because his numbers with Minnesota when he pitched here were very good. His first start as a Blue Jay here was good last week, so maybe he's going to take an inkling to this ballpark. We'll have to wait and see and enjoy pitching here. We'll have to at Rogers Center. We'll have to wait and see. Sharpie, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, I haven't made any bets myself on this game, but like Connor is saying, like if Boston loses, I will look towards Boston's way. The Jays are only walking 5% right now versus right-handed pitchers, guys. Hawk had 7 strikeouts versus him last time. They don't have his K prop up right now for my book, but it's something to look into. When you're only walking 5%, the league minimum's 8, bro. That's the average. The league average 8%, guys. Like you're just swinging. Yes, they're hitting the ball, but there's going to be games where you miss it, guys. You're not going to hit every game. So I'm not a Barrios fan myself, but like Ian says, he does have good numbers at Rogers Center. So maybe this is going to be a field he feels comfortable at. And he does have a great team backing him behind him. So when you're showing up to the ballpark, knowing your team's going to give you 4 runs every day, you feel a little better. I'm just not that comfortable backing Barrios, but they're giving it to you at a minus 150. That's a cheap ticket. I believe he was at 200 or something last week when he opened. That's a price I can't touch Barrios at. But at a minus 150, if you like him, I can't hate you for that.
All right, Detroit, Cleveland. Cleveland minus 160 home favorites in this game. Actually, minus 150 it's down to across the board. 9.5 the total. I'd lean over in this game. Tyler Alexander for the Tigers has been up and down. His last 3 starts, he's got a 6.1 ERA. Actually, his road ERA is not great, 5.74 in this one. I don't want to go crazy about Eli Moore. As he turned a corner, yeah, well, if you consider, 3 runs instead of 4 or 6, turning a corner, he has been a little bit better. I will say that 3.332 his last 4 starts, and he faced some good teams: Houston, Oakland, Houston again, and then Toronto. He is getting better, Eli Morgan. Remember early in the season he was brutal. He is getting better, and so I pause a little bit on this game, but in terms of I lean over, and at this price I absolutely lean Detroit first 5 in full game because I've been backing the Tigers a lot, but. Eli Morgan, keep an eye on him. I'm not as just rushing to the window to bet against Eli Morgan after what I saw in his last start against Toronto. He was very, very good. He had his pitches moving. He kept the Blue Jays a good lineup off balance. The only damage they did was a 2-run shot by Vladdy. That's it. So he is getting better. So I'm pumping the brake. Right now I lean Detroit and over in this game, but I'm just pumping the brakes, and I might end up staying off it. And Cleveland did just trounce Detroit last night. So keep that in mind. Tigers are just weird, right? They play so good against Boston, and then they get trounced by Cleveland last night, who had been scuffling. So that's Detroit. They can drive you nuts sometimes. Big Show knows all about that. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Detroit, Cleveland.
Yeah, that's why I like the Tigers here. They got their ass whipped yesterday. It was perfect. I stayed off. I think the Indians was a good spot there for them. But Eli Morgan, minus 150, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit that he shut down the Jays his last start. I watched the whole thing. He pitched well. He still gave up a jack, I think, to Vladdy there. But yep. He's always good for 3 or 4. So I'd be on the Tigers first 5 plus 140, and I lean the full game over as well. I think Alexander can get hit as well. He'll only go 3 or 4 innings. Then we got a bullpen off with these 2 teams, so there could be runs, I think, in late. Maybe live over.
I would agree with that. There could be some runs later in the game. Tyler Alexander's been up and down. That's why it's tough. Both of these pitchers, I mean, they've had some good moments, and they've had a lot of rough moments too, especially Morgan. So, but I still think the value at this price is Detroit, because Detroit's offensive form and team form the last 15 to 20 games has been a lot better than even though Cleveland beat them last night. I get that. The last 20 games, Detroit's been the better team than Cleveland. So that's why I still think there's value with them here in this one. That would be the only way I would bet it. What do you think here, Sharpie?
If I was to bet this, I would have to go Detroit first 5 over 2.5 at plus money, guys. They got the better bats. They should have 3 runs themselves. I can't trust Alexander to win it. I don't know how Cleveland's going to show up, but Detroit, that's Big Show's team. Shout out to Big Show. Happy birthday yesterday, my man. Another year. Let's get it. But it's the fact that they scored 0 or they got whooped yesterday is the only reason why I could play on Detroit today. I have to pick my spots with them. I can't go in like a lot of people been backing Detroit. Like, I can't do that. Every time I back them, they freaking lose. So I've been learning to pick my spots when a team gets smashed and then they got good numbers versus the pitcher the next day. That's a play on to me. It's a get right spot. So 2.5 at plus money, first 5 for me for Detroit.
All right, good stuff. Like in Detroit early. San Francisco and Milwaukee. Next up, we've got Aaron Sanchez back in the rotation for the San Francisco Giants. He hasn't pitched since in a starting role since May the 4th, so it's been a while for him. And we've got Brandon Woodruff for the Brewers. Brew Crew minus 200. Home favorites at Miller Park, 8.5 the total in this one. It'll be interesting to see what we get here from Aaron Sanchez. Again, started 6 games early in the year. He came back July 30th, has made a couple of stints out of the bullpen in relief, and he's given up 1 run in 5 innings in those games. He had that tightness in the bicep issue. That's the injury he had. We'll see how he can come back from that here today. I am look, Sanchez is a bit of an unknown here. We don't know how he's going to be, and Woodruff's obviously had a nice season, but Woodruff's been a little bit more hittable lately. He gave up 3 runs to the Braves. Braves won that game in his last start. Gave up 3 runs to the White Sox before that in 7 innings. White Sox won that game. They're actually on a 1-4 slide. The Brewers in Woodruff's last 5 starts. So believe it or not, with Woodruff on the mound, laying these big prices, which he often is, they've lost 4 of their last 5. I'm tempted by the Giants today. Well, I lost taking them last night. They lost in extra innings, but I'm tempted to come back to San Francisco here. First 5 in full game at this price. They're 1-4 in Woodruff's last 5 starts. We'll see how Sanchez goes here in this one. And the biggest reason I'm interested in thinking San Fran's live at this price, the bullpen is ravaged by COVID-19 right now for this Milwaukee Brewers team. It's an issue. Can you trust this team to close out games right now? Adrian Hauser just tested positive yesterday, so he's now gone. There's 9 other players on the COVID-19 reserve list. Eric Lauer, Josh Hader, Hunter Strickland, Jake Cousins, and the list goes on and on. There's key relievers out of this bullpen. So if they have a lead late, it's not a sure thing they can bring it home, and they had to use whatever arms they had last night, in a game that was 1-1 and it was right there right till the end. They got it done last night with a short-handed bullpen. I don't know if I trust them to get it done again second night, because that bullpen's even going to be more depleted because they used whatever best arms they had last night. So it's a worry for me. I think you're paying a tax here, a Woodruff tax. He is great, but they've lost 4 of his last 5 starts. I think there's worse things you can do on this board today than take a shot with San Fran here at this price. What do you think here, Conor Mac, Giants and Brewers?
Yeah, you get the big number with Woodruff now. He's been pretty good to me all year. I don't know if I'd want to take him here at -200. It was a good game last night. The big deal is Sanchez. DeSclafani, something was wrong with him. He looked way off against the D-backs, and he got hit. And obviously now he has a sore shoulder. That's why he's out. Sanchez is in. If you can get a 4.5, there's down to 4, the first 5 under. I lean that way. Sanchez is, though, the question mark here. And when I think of Sanchez, I think of 2019 Sanchez. He was like 5-12, and his ERA was almost 6. So that scares the shit out of me here. So I lean under because Woodruff, I know it'll get it home. And looking at both these lineups, the Brewers haven't hit Sanchez much at all. Willie Adames is the only one. He's 3 for 7. A lot of 1 for 4, 1 for 6, 1 for 8, 5 for 21, Jackie Bradley. And Woodruff has some decent numbers from these Giants. So I lean under. It's just Sanchez. I don't know if I'm going to play it yet.
All right, so a lean to the under, at least first 5.
Yeah, the
here.
first
Another
5.
strategy you could go with in this game that could work. Maybe Sanchez is not great. Who knows? He hasn't started since May. Maybe Woodruff's good. And Brewers lead, like, let's say 3-1 or something after the 4th or the 5th inning. Hit San Francisco live in game. Because I'm telling you, this Milwaukee bullpen is a worry right now. It's shorthanded. It's depleted. Milwaukee's leading midway through this game. San Francisco live at a plus number, I think, is a solid way to go, from a value standpoint. Sharpie, as he does the 7th inning stretch here, a little early. Sharpie, what do you think here? Giants, Brewers. But I hear you. It's early where you guys are.
It's 8:48 a.m. over here in California, bro. I'm not awake yet. I mean, I'm here, but I'm not awake. Here we go, though. I like the San Francisco team total first 5 over 1.5. It's -110. Woodruff hasn't been straight money, guys. He's been giving up 2 or more runs. Giants are number 3rd OPS since the All-Star break versus right-handed pitchers, guys. That's a walk and a home run, and I cash. I mean, I could see that happening. My best bet is also in this game, and it's going to be a mix of that right there. I'll still get the runs and my strikeouts.
All right, there you go. That's a nice approach. San Fran team total over first 5. Definitely early in that game. Get the runs you need and get out. Get in and get out.
We hit 103 likes. Shout out to the chat. I got to do what I got to do. Let's go. Hustle
All
daily.
Right, yeah, very good. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Like, we're doing good. 200 live viewers. We appreciate it. No doubt about it on a Saturday. Joining us here on the MLB Closing Time Show. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati now. We've got Mitch Keller, Vladimir Gutierrez, Reds -185, -190, home favorites, 10.5 the total here in this one. The Reds have certainly just absolutely annihilated the Pirates in the first 2 games of this series. 10-0 last night, 7-4 the night before that. So, Reds taking care of business. Reds playing good baseball, 8-2. Their last 10 games. Let's not forget they took 2 of 3 from the Mets. They took 3 of 4 from the Cubs before that. So Reds are putting it together. They've got Castellanos back in the line. Now that lineup is intact, and the way many of them are hitting right now. Jonathan India,
both those guys.
Moustakas, Winker, Jonathan India, Winker, Castellanos, Votto. Cooled off a little, but still been a nice month for him. Moustakas, Naquin, Farmers picked it up. Really, really deep lineup all of a sudden, the Reds, with the way they are hitting right now. And I think they could probably do some damage here against Mitch Keller. It's been absolutely ugly from Mitch Keller. 4 runs, 5 hits, 2.2 innings against the Dodgers. Comes back from a stint on the IL, and it's not much better for him. 4 runs, 8 hits, 5 innings against the Phillies in his last start. Not good. Faced the Reds back in May in Pittsburgh, and he gives up 7 runs in 3.1 innings against them. So, yeah, this could be a Reds team total. I know it's 5.5 here. You're not getting a bargain, 5.5, but I would go Reds team total over. I'd go full game over, take a shot. Again, I'm a little bit less confident in that because you need Pittsburgh to do something offensively, but they might be able to. I mean, Gutierrez has been a little bit more hittable the last few starts, especially here at home. Home ERA for Gutierrez is 7 ERA, 7.17 ERA at home at Great American Ballpark for this guy. So I'm hoping that means the Pirates can do something offensively against him. So for me, it would be 2 totals I'd look at. Reds team total over 5.5 and the full game over 10.5. That is the way I would be looking at this one. And I've been on the over in the first 2 games in this series. So come right back to it is definitely what I'm interested in. Conor Mac, what do you think here, Pirates and Reds?
Yeah, getting those guys back in the lineup, I think, has been huge for the Reds. Gutierrez might give up a few here to the Pirates, which still, they're anemic, that offense. They could get some run off Gutierrez, but their team total's 4.5, minus 105. I don't know about that. The Reds, 5.5, it's minus 130. I don't do a lot of home run lines, but I'd rather take the Reds run line here at home, minus 110, than take the 5.5, minus 130. I just got to roll with them. Their offense is rolling. I don't want the Pirates till maybe they get back home and take them in a spot. I just don't want them here. Keller's been a little bit better lately, and Gutierrez might get some, but I just got to stay off the Pirates till maybe after this series. It seems like they get trashed in a series, and then right when you think they're going to get bombed again, when they, their next series, then they'll get a win. So I'll wait for that. So it's a game I'm going to pass, but I'd lean Reds run line.
All right, lean Reds run line. Sharpie, anything here? Pirates and Reds.
Yeah, we're all leaning towards the Reds run line or the Reds team total because I'm right there. I wrote down 5.5. It's just minus 125. And when I see that, I can't bet it, but that means it's going to happen, guys. It is what it is. It's Keller and the 28th worst bullpen. Like, it is what it is. 5.5 should easily happen here. Maybe just the full over. I'm going to stay off it, though. I just, not for me today. 5.5's too much. That juice.
It's a lot of juice. Reds have caught me a few times.
Yeah.
That lineup's looking better. I like Castellanos back in the Moustakas. I think really helps them out.
Facts.
Yeah, it is a deeper lineup for sure right now. And look, they don't even have Stevenson expected in their lineup today, and he's a good hitting catcher, though. But Barnhart's a nice backup catcher, so they don't suffer a ton. I mean, Barnhart's a little drop off, but he's still a capable hitter. Minnesota and Houston, Michael Pineda, Luis Garcia pitching matchup here. Astros minus 220, home favorites here. 9 the total in this game. We'll see how it plays out here for 2 guys that Luis Garcia, has been a little bit not quite as sharp lately for the Houston Astros. 5.87 ERA his last 3 starts. Roughed up by the San Francisco Giants in his last start, 5 runs, 4.2 innings. Roughed up by Seattle, 6 runs, 4.2 innings before that. So 2 really poor outings in a row for Luis Garcia. And I'll tell you what, that Dodger series, it was so intense, it shook the hell up out of the Houston Astros because they've dropped the first 2 games of this series to the Minnesota Twins, which is stunning right now. But, give the Twins credit. Either that or you shame the Astros more. I don't know which one, but for the Twins to rise up, beat Houston twice in a row with Bailey Ober and with Griffin Jacks on the mound, they're doing something right. And that's now 3 losses in a row for the Astros. And if you go back to the San Fran series, they're now 1-5, in their last 6 games. So I ain't laying a price with Houston or Luis Garcia, who's been roughed up in his last 2 starts, and a guy that when he faced Minnesota, earlier this year. He gave up 4 runs, 6 hits, 4.1 innings, and Minnesota wins that game 5-2. And that was back in June. So crazy as it is to say it, they've already won the first. It just feels like Houston's got to wake up at some point. There's a bad team that they're losing to at home, but there's no way I'm touching Houston at this price. It would only be Twins, maybe first 5 full game split. I'm tempted by that, but because Garcia's not been in good form the last couple, and he lost to the Twins earlier this year. But I'm tempted. I might go ahead with that. I worry Houston wakes up, but at this price, I could only look Twins. Absolutely, that's the only side I would look at. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Twins Astros.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait till the Astros get going. They go on that road trip and score a shitload of runs versus the Giants, even the Dodgers, and they come back and just kind of couple fucking stinkers. Now Garcia's minus 210. I don't like Pineda. We're gonna get to Sharpie. He don't like the guy either. He loves fading him. But I got a few guys. Maxwell Smart, he loves his Jose Altuve. He's 8 for 25. I think he gets hits today. It's just taking the price, minus 210. You got to, run lines minus 115. The team total is 5.5. If you want to risk it, it's plus 110. And also, Carlos Correa, 11 for 20 with 3 home runs. He's a jack of the day guy for me here. Probably a game I'm just going to stay off, though. I don't want anything to do with the Astros lately.
Yeah, the only concern is Pineda on the road. Pineda against a good lineup. Sometimes you worry about that. That's the biggest fear I have. But Garcia does have a good home ERA. So maybe back in the juice box there at Minute Maid Park for this game tonight is going to help him because his home numbers are pretty good. But we'll have to wait and see. Sharpie, what do you think here?
I think I just went through my 3rd surgery, fellas. First dab of the day is the best dab of the day. Oh, all right. Pineda. I hate Pineda. Pineda. This guy's a straight trash can, guys, and this is a get-right spot. If there's a get-right spot, it's Pineda for these Astros and this Minnesota bullpen. 5.5, it's a big number. They're the home team. It's at plus money, guys. I'm on that today. They opened up yesterday 3-0 and died versus Jacks. But I was sitting there like, man, this is it. Nope. Pineda's it. And I'm glad I stayed off yesterday. I actually thought I bet it and went and looked at my bet slip when it was 3-0. And I was like, yeah. And it wasn't there. So I'm glad I didn't have it at the end of the day. But that's what I'm seeing here, guys, is over 5.5 at plus money.
All right, over 5.5 team total for the Houston Astros for Sharpie. Kansas City and St. Louis. Brad Keller, Kwang Hyun Kim, the pitching matchup. Cardinals minus 170. It looks like Cardinals are minus 160. Home favorites here at Busch Stadium. 8.5 the total, shaded to the under. Be careful with Brad Keller today if you're thinking of backing KC because, he has been better lately, no doubt. But he's coming off a start where he had a little bit of back issues against the Blue Jays, and he had to leave that game after just 3 1/3 inning against the Jays. Back tightness. So first start since then for Keller. Let's see if he's feeling good or 100%. I have some doubts, but still for the month of July, he was very good. 2.28 ERA in July. July was a much better month for Brad Keller. Struggled in that last start against the Jays. 3 runs, 7 hits, and then 3 innings left with the back injury. We'll have to see if he's 100% here. He's struggled against the Cardinals in the past, so that's definitely something that concerns you. Kwang Hyun Kim on the mound for the Cardinals had gone through 5 straight terrific starts, 1-0-0, 0-2 allowed in those 5 starts in terms of runs allowed. But last time against Cleveland was rough for him. 4 home runs, 5 runs, and 2.2 innings against Cleveland in a rough showing for Kwang Hyun Kim in that game. We'll see how he fares here. Returning to the starting rotation, he's battled this. Mike Schilt, the manager, said he's had diminished fast velocity. That's a worry. That was a red flag when you see the velocity declining like it did against Cleveland. Said he's a little bit tired, and they're going to see now if he can get that velocity back. That's why they've given him the rest since that start against Cleveland, which was, I think, almost a couple weeks ago. So they've really just rested him to make sure he's feeling good and maybe can get back on the beam again. So there's just a lot of what ifs, right? Keller's got a back issue that left the last start early, and he struggled in it. How's he going to pitch? Kwang-Hyun Kim, fastball declined velocity-wise in his last start. He got roughed up, hasn't pitched in 2 weeks. How the hell is he going to pitch? If you don't trust either pitcher, maybe over 8.5. But for me, it's a stay off. I'm just going to completely avoid this game. Conor Mac, what do you think here, Royals Cardinals?
Yeah, when I see the question marks, the only thing I looked at in this game at that 8.5 was the over. Before that, he was really good. Before July 28th, when he only went a couple innings and his velocity's down. But you said 2 weeks off, and then Keller with that lower back. I wouldn't take either side here. I don't trust either. So I don't trust these teams to rake crazy. But at 8.5, wind blowing out to left, I'd be on the over.
Yeah, whenever I see vast velocity decline, that for any baseball handicapper, that's a red flag right there. That means you want to stay away from this pitcher until you know that they're feeling right. Because when you see the decline and there could be a health issue, could be an injury issue of some kind. So that's going to be the thing to monitor for Kim, is that this velocity was way down against Cleveland. He got roughed up. Is it going to be back to the level it was before that tonight? I think it's more of a wait and see when it comes to that. Sharpie, what do you think here? Royals Cardinals.
Hey, shout out to the grinder, Real Deal Prime. Give me up, Scotty. That shit made me laugh right there, bro. You're a good guy. Here we go, guys. I'm gonna stay off this game, but I was leaning the 4.5 first 5 under, and because you guys were talking so much the over, that's just gonna tell me to stay off. But these guys were in good form until their last starts. They want to say it's fastball velocity dip, their back hurt. No, they went up against two teams that are in the top 10 hitting versus lefty or righty, whoever they were going up. Cleveland smashes lefties, guys. They're 7th OPS since the All-Star break. Cool, bro. You got hit by Cleveland. We're going up against Kansas City, who's 18th since the All-Star break, guys, and they're walking only 5%. Like, that's not a good thing, guys. When you're not being patient at the plate, that's not a good thing. So I lean the 4.5 under before last week, before they were in good form to me, but I'm gonna stay off because of the injuries.
All right, we've got the Nats and the Braves. Next up here, we've got Josiah Gray on the mound for the Nationals, Charlie Oldman Morton for Atlanta. The Atlanta side, a big favorite here, minus 230 home favorites for Morton and the Braves, 8.5 the total in this game. Braves are an absolute over machine right now. Their lineup is just rocking it, and their pitching's been up and down. So and right away, we've talked about this. Connor and I said it yesterday. Atlanta home games this year, they're now 31-20 to the over. That's a pretty damn good win. If like you've been betting every Atlanta home game over the total this year, you're doing good. 31-20 to the over at home this year for Atlanta games. The Nationals are now 7 straight overs. I'm on the over here. When I see this, Atlanta going over like a crazy. Washington 7 straight overs. Hot lineups, usually when they're hot, they stay hot. When bullpens are weaker and struggling, like both of these bullpens are, they stay struggling until proven otherwise. And that's why you get these total streaks, like Washington's on, like Atlanta in their last few games. They're both hitting. The pitching's been suspect enough, especially the bullpen. And that's how you get overs. Like I said, 7 straight now for the Nationals have gone over the total. They've given up 6, 5, 7, 5, 9, 7, 8 in those games. Braves team total could go in that direction potentially here. I know Josiah Gray is a big-time prospect, no question. They have high hopes for him. That's why they got him in the Scherzer and Turner deal to the Dodgers. And he pitched good in his last start against the Phillies. 1 run, 4 hits. In 5 innings just 5 days ago. But he's not going to give you a ton of innings. They're still monitoring his innings count. You're going to see a lot of Washington bullpen, and that's good news for Atlanta because the Washington bullpen's disastrous right now, as far as I'm concerned. And on the other side, you've got Washington against Morton. I think Washington could do a few things at least against Morton. You look at in the past, they've at least gotten 3 runs in a lot of 2-3 runs against him. I think if you get Washington to get you at least 3 runs, maybe even to get 4 against that Atlanta bullpen, which is still a little up and down, and you get Atlanta taking care of business with their red hot bats, you can get over 8.5 in my mind. 8.5 is doable with a team that's gone over the total in 7 straight games like Washington has. So for me, it's over 8.5. I'd lean to the Braves team total, but I think I'm just going to stick to the full game over here in this one. What do you think here, Conor Mac, Washington, Atlanta?
Yeah, Morton's been good. He gave up early homers last start to Adames and settled in, only gave up one. And he's been good the last, 6 weeks or so. But a huge favorite here. Gray's going to be a good pitcher. He's going to go through some growing pains. I think he's got good stuff, but walks will be his problem. He can't walk guys today. The Nationals, like you said, they've hit Morton in the past, but is it going to be, can they do it here today? I lean it's at 8.5. If this was under 9, I'm going over because I like both kind of team totals. But the Braves is at 5.5, so I'm with you. And then the bullpen, especially the Nats, just keep giving it up. And Gray, he's gone 4, 4, and 5. I think he's about 4 innings again. So I'm with you. I'm on the full game over.
Yeah, look at last night. Perfect. Thanks. Oh, don't ask, don't tell.
Shout out to Don't Ask.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to you. We appreciate it. You're always giving. You're such, you're giving.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate the support 1,000,000 times over. Thank you very much. Don't ask, don't tell. That's a class act right there. We appreciate it. Last night I was on Washington Atlanta over. That game was sitting on 5-3 for a while. And that's why I like the over tonight, because I just know in my heart Washington's bullpen is more than capable of giving it up and finally giving up those runs you need. And they did that last night, and the game went over the total. So they're a bad bullpen right now. So, and again, we're talking about Atlanta's been an over machine at home. Washington's gone over in 7 straight games overall. So to me, at 8.5, it's a numbers play. I know Gray's capable. I know Morton's been good, but at 8.5, it's a numbers play for me. Over 8.5 in this one. Sharpie, what do you think?
I think I thought Connor was gonna get him. I was waiting. I was like, get him. We watched that Josiah Gray game. He got lucky. Those numbers are false, guys. Like, so many balls were missed that were popped up that were just a half inch away from going out, guys. I was on his K prop that day. He had 2 strikes like 7 times and couldn't put people away. I was livid. But I really think that sneaky Washington score first here, guys. Atlanta hasn't seen Gray. Advantage Gray here. Morton has bad numbers versus Washington, guys. So, I mean, I really think it can go maybe Washington 1-0 through 2. And, like, if you like the over, I think you can get a better. I think it could go maybe a couple innings low scoring, and then you could get these bullpen type things over. So I'd look for a live over in this type of game. And like Ian and them said, we appreciate the donos. We appreciate the likes. We appreciate the shares. Everything helps. Without you guys, shout out to Solat Media with the $10 dono now. Let's keep it rolling.
Very, very nice, guys. We appreciate
all
it.
helps, bro. The likes, all of it. But go ahead, Ian.
Yeah, I'm unbelievable. 230 live viewers, and Solat Media's donated on a couple of other shows, including at the CFL show that I was on yesterday. I saw them throw out a dono. So incredible generosity and support for the channel and the shows. We appreciate it very, very much. No doubt about that. You guys make it possible to do this every day. Miami and Colorado now. We've got Jesus Luzardo on the mound for the Marlins. Austin Gomber on the mound for the Rockies in this one. Colorado minus 155. Home favorites at Coors Field. Total 10.5 in this one. This Rockies team, if the Major League Baseball could be contested in a season where the rules would stipulate that Colorado plays every game at home, they'd be a playoff team. Seriously, they might be in the playoffs in the National League. 36-21. They've just been rocking it here at Coors Field. No pun intended. And they've won 3 of their last 4 here in this ballpark. I don't go against Colorado at home right now, and I'm not at all inclined to do it with Jesus Luzardo. I have been waiting on Jesus Luzardo to be this big-time pitching prospect that he was pimped up to be, 2 years ago, forever. And it just hasn't happened. And at 5.4 ERA, his first start with the Marlins was average at best, mediocre at best, 3 runs, 4 hits, 5 innings, 3 walks, and a home run allowed. He's just not developing to the point where I'm trusting him, especially in this environment against this team in this ballpark. And you've got a discrepancy with these 2 teams against lefties right now. You got 2 lefties. Gomber's a lefty for Colorado. He got roughed up in his last start against San Diego, really rough game. But prior to that, it pitched well. His home ERA is 1.98. He's been very good at Coors Field. 1.98 ERA for Gomber in 7 home starts. Rockies are 5-2 in his 7 home starts. The Marlins guys are hitting 176 and averaging 1.8 runs per game against lefties in the last 10. Colorado, 274, averaging 8.2 runs per game against lefties in their last 10 games. So you've got a huge production discrepancy. Miami versus lefties, Colorado versus lefties. So for me, it's Colorado first 5 minus a half a run. That would be the only way I would go in this game with this red hot home team. You could go run line as well, but I think I like the first 5 minus a half run more than that. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Marlins, Rockies.
Shout out to my guy. Did someone say Dono? Jake the Snake. Jake from State Farm. My guy, Jake Kaiser. We appreciate it. My regular. Love that guy.
You're doing
Thanks,
great
Jake.
things when it catches Slaughter's attention. All the great support and the donations. Yeah.
Yep. I'm with you. Rockies. Luzardo's, like you said, this guy's never got it done. His ERA is horrible. It's almost 7. First 5 half a run. Gomber's been pretty good. I know his last start wasn't great, but overall he's been solid all year. This guy 8-4, 8-6, 4 ERA. He's been pretty good at home. So yeah, first 5 half a run. I think you can go team total. I think they get 6 runs off Luzardo. This was my lone loss. I went with the under yesterday, and he just fell apart, man. It's bad. It was 10-0 fucking in the 4th. But our Rockies are at home feeling it. I don't want the Marlins here. Not with Luzardo.
Yeah, who had the worst single inning of starting pitchers last night? Sandy Alcantara for Miami in Colorado, or Nady Eovaldi for Boston last night in Toronto? I mean, you talk about 2 just brutal innings where the roof caves in and everything goes wrong. Those were 2 innings. What Sandy and what Eovaldi went through last night.
That's Weathers in the 4th inning. I think gave up 5.
Yeah, that's absolutely, that's a candidate as well. Weathers with a lead. The Padres staked into a 4-0.
Yeah, they had a lead.
Yeah, great call, Sharpie. Forgot about that one. Yeah, I cashed my best bet on that, and I forgot about it. Crazy. Sharpie, what do you think here? Marlins, Rockies.
Hey, shout out to Kaiser and all the guys that are donoing, all the guys that smash the like are just as important.
Brubaker, forgot him. Brubaker only gave up
Brubaker
in the 1st inning or whatever.
But we will have the MMA chat going tonight, guys, too, for the stream. We got the pay-per-view going on, so make sure you tune in to the fellas. I'm going to have to take a fat face melting dab when that starts because I'm out of butane, and I got to get these guys a solid one, you know? But on this game, I'm with you guys. Colorado first 5 minus a half. Why overthink it, dude? It's Colorado versus lefty. They're at home, and Gomber is pretty good, bro, and it's Miami. Like Ian said, bottom of the barrel versus lefty since the All-Star break. So, I mean, the stats, the team, this team plays hard at home. They play good for their fans. So I'll back them when they're at home, even though I have their win total under, and that shit's burnt.
Yeah, I mean, that home record has saved them in terms of going over the win total. No question what they've done at home. All right, 7th inning stretch time. Oh, that feels good. 7th inning stretch time before we get to our 2 late night West Coast games. Eric Jones. We'll go through as many people in the chat as I can. Renee Tato, Ty Clinton, Sean Thompson, not applicable. Real Deal Prime, Cheshire Cat, Dom Ricci, one of the original gangsters with us as well. Real Deal Prime, Robert McLaren, not applicable. Puzzler. Go on down the list. Jake Kaiser, North Ender, Solat Media, again, one of our great, donations. Don't Ask, Don't Tell, the other one. Brian Watson, Let's Go Wild Picks, a.k.a. Terry Edelman, Lamont Williams, Danzo, incredible support. Gravy Betts, DX Filer, Sean Thompson, Eric Jones, of course, Slaughter, the man behind the channel, in the chat as well today. Benjamin Mills, we appreciate it. Yeah, my exercise, 100% right. Probably the only exercise I get all day. That's not true. I do walk sometimes, but yeah, I'm not a fitness guy. That's for sure, as you can tell. Juan Ruiz, Ross Pitts, Ninja 13. Thank you to everyone in the chat. We appreciate it. Let's go to the last 2 games. Arizona, San Diego, Taylor Widener, and Yu Darvish, your pitching matchup here. San Diego minus 290, minus 310. Home favorites here at Petco Park. Total in this game sitting at, it looks like 8, pretty much across the board in this one. I mean, if you're the San Diego Padres and you can't be losing games like last night. That's a bad loss. That's a bad loss for where you are in the standings. You're hanging on right now by a thread in terms of wild card status, and you lose a game like you did last night. That's not a very good look for the Padres. So definitely some concerns with what's going on here with this group at the moment. You look at their wild card situation. I mean, the Reds are only 2.5 behind them for that second wild card. There is a scenario that they can miss the playoffs because the Reds are coming. They're playing good ball. San Diego's losing at home to Arizona. And there's a scenario. And for this team with Machado and Hosmer, and they stacked up with Darvish and Snell in the offseason. And Tatis is injured now. But, a team with all of this talent on it, if they were to miss the playoffs, that is a complete disaster. That is a complete underachievement. And there's no sugarcoating it at all. If they miss the playoffs, that is a brutal job. Not bad, brutal by the San Diego Padres. They need to figure shit out quickly. Their bullpen's kind of falling apart. Snell, you don't know what you're going to get on a regular basis. Ryan Weathers can't be in a rotation anymore. It's got to be done for him. He's not been good. And the guy on the mound tonight has to figure it out. Yu Darvish, I'm talking about. He has given up 4 runs or more in 4 of his last 5 starts. This. You know what? The Padres fans, if he keeps this shit up, they're going to be saying, fuck you at some point here to Yu Darvish, both figuratively and literally. They'll be saying that. So Darvish is in a bad way right now. You think I'm going to lay minus 300 right now with Yu Darvish in his form? No way. No chance in hell of that. The problem is Widener's on the mound for the Padres, and he's given up 5 runs in 3 straight starts. He's given up 15 runs in his last 11, 12 innings of work. He's been absolutely brutal for the Diamondbacks. So I don't trust him enough to take Arizona at this price, but maybe if you want to take a shot, you can take Arizona here because I think they're in the game because Darvish is just not pitching with a great deal of confidence. His home numbers are still good, but even his last home start, he couldn't even say he could rely on Petco Park because he got smashed by the Rockies, in his last home start. So I'm probably going right back to the over in this game, much like I was on it last night. I'll be back to it here tonight. Both bullpens have logged a ton of innings lately, and both bullpens last 10 games, Zona's 6.15, but that's par for the course. Their bullpen's been one of the worst all season. But even the Padres bullpen, they got good numbers, but they've been worked a ton lately, and I think it's going to start to show up. So I'm only looking over the total in this one. That would be the way I would go. And if you have to bet the side, I say you put a couple bucks on Arizona, say a few prayers, and hope for the best. But I can't endorse Darvish at this price and this team at this price. I can't do it. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Arizona, San Diego.
Hey, 1 second. Shout out to my boy Brotato, the captain in the United States Air Force with the dono. Appreciate that, my boy.
Oh, yeah. My guy right there. Thanks, Brotato.
Yeah, he shot a $10 dono.
Wow, thank you very much. We appreciate that.
I'm with you. Dude, the last time Yu Darvish had a solid game was June 27th, was against Arizona. 6 innings at home, 6 hits, 1 earned run. Since then, he's given up 4, 6, 2, 4, 5. And that's to Colorado, Miami, Washington, Philly. These aren't great teams. And we know Widener, he's given up 5, 5, and 5 his last 3 starts. Hey, Darvish, yeah, a lot of these guys, he can go out and throw a great game. But no way. Is this juice? It's crazy. No way. I'm with you. I lean over full game here. D-backs, I wanted to run real quick. I was looking at earlier. Some of these guys, Cabrera, he's 9 for 24. Calhoun, 6 for 19. Marte, 6 for 14. Peralta, 5 for 15. Walker, 4 for 10. Home runs, too. Calhoun has 2, Peralta has 2, Marte has 1. They hit Darvish. So that team total at 2.5, I know it's minus 135. That's over, I think, for the D-backs as well. So I like the full game over at D-backs team total. I think easily gets over at 2.5.
I'm telling you right now that what the old movie line, the juice is worth the squeeze. Not in MLB betting in the second half of the season. Look at last night. Dodgers, big chalk, go down. San Diego, big chalk, goes down. You look at there's Houston last night, big chalk, they lose. you got to be careful laying these big prices. You lose one of those, and you're digging out of a hole, and it may take a few days for you to dig out of it. That is why I'm going to lose a shit ton of underdog bets. I get it, that they're dogs for a reason, but I am way more inclined to look at a dog in a price range like this than lay the price like this with San Diego or a Dodgers or you name it at this time of year, because I find this is the time of year, dog days of summer, bullpen's tired, injuries galore. That's when these favorites sometimes can stumble. And boy, what a stumble last night for the Padres. Sharpie, what do you think here? D-backs and Padres.
I think when you were talking about all that wild card stuff, I've been preaching it for weeks, guys. Padres are not making the playoffs. Okay, you heard it here first. I've been saying it since the All-Star break. This team consistently falls off after the All-Star break. It is what it is. You Machado, come on, dude. That guy doesn't care about anything but his paycheck, bro. Hosmer was going to get traded, guys. They were trying to trade prospects, give away prospects for people to take Hosmer. No one would take him. Okay, it's not a clubhouse that's united. Tatis ain't there. He's their gel. So it's like I can't bet on the Padres to win a game, especially like you're saying at this price. But I did bet the over 8. I'm on the over 8. Widener give up 5-6 himself. We get that Arizona bullpen. I just can't bet Darvish. Darvish sent spider attack, guys. June 16th. Follow it how you want to follow it, guys. Call it what you want to call it. He's a fucking cheater. Okay? And San Diego. His numbers say what it is. It is what it is. Padres don't know how to spend their money, guys. They buy all these guys that look what they're doing. They're big names without a coach who knows how to handle big names. So they play to their opponent's level week in and week out. And they're playing to Arizona's level. That's how they lost a game to Arizona. That's not good baseball team. That's not good managing. So I can't bet them to win a game, but I could sure take the runs. So Widener's a bum himself, guys. Like, I backed him a few times. I tried to think this guy was good. He was a freaking top draft pick. The guy throws 92 miles per hour, guys. He only has 3 pitches. So once they figure him out, he is done. It's not like he has nothing to get past you or trick you with, bro. He throws 92. I prefer 97. So at least you can trick somebody. You gotta respect 97. 92 you laugh at, guys. So I'm on the over 8 on that game myself. And right. 5 more likes to 150. Smash that thing. Let's get us there, guys. Come on now.
Yeah, absolutely. Smash that like button. And the song that Sharpie was singing, that's an underrated artist that did that, Exhibit. Exhibit doesn't get the credit he deserves in the hip-hop sphere. That guy was good in his day, and you don't get him talked about like some others. Absolutely. So there we go. That was a nice one. Next up, we've got the final game, freeway series here, Angels and Dodgers to wrap things up. We got Jaime Barria for the Angels, Julio Urias for the Dodgers. Dodgers minus 290, home favorites, 8.5 the total in this one. Yeah, you can knock yourself out, Jada style, laying minus 290 with the Dodgers here. I ain't doing it. The last night, again, typical Dodgers, right? You got a chance to gain ground on the Giants. You can't do it. You stumble and bumble, and you end up losing in extra innings to the Angels last night. Barria, I don't know what to make. I mean, I thought he was a bet against guy because he's not been great in the past, but boy, 2 starts since joining the Angels rotation. He's been terrific. Can he keep it going is the question. 2 runs, though, in 13.2 innings over these 2 starts for Barria. Oakland and Minnesota, were the 2 lineups he faced. So we will see if the Dodgers are a step-up challenge for him. He did start against them 2 years ago, the Dodgers, and only gave up a run in 5 innings. So we'll see what Barria can do. Urias has been good. I mean, he's given up 2 runs over 17.2 innings over his last 3 starts. Just 2 runs in his last 17-plus innings. And the Angels are only hitting 200 against lefties in their last 10 games. So this could be a first 5 under in this game. And we saw a low-scoring start last night. If you had the over, you only last night you were still looking close to getting that, and only had a chance to get over the total because of extra innings. Fell short with the 4-3 final score, but it was a low-scoring start to that game last night. It might be that way again tonight. So I'm not involved in the game, but I'll just throw out a lean to the first 5 under. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Angels, Dodgers.
I have nothing in this. There's no way you could take the Dodgers here. I don't trust Berea. I know he's pitched well his last few starts, but you're the Dodger tax minus 300. You saw how bad they were last night. Man, that was rough to watch. Like I said, Padres lose, Giants lose, and you can't win that game. Pathetic. I want nothing here. So just 0, zilch. I'd be on the dog or pass. I got nothing.
All right. What do you think here, Sharpie?
Shout out to the Pub Sports Radio Discord, guys. We were chilling in there watching this game last night, and me being a Dodger homer, I even told the guys jump on the A's at that plus money, guys. It's just the way the game was going. It just is what it is. Show tried to get real ballsy and take the plus 1.5 at plus 800 last night, and that came freaking close. But Billy cashed his plus money ticket on the Angels. Yeah, this is a way out price. This is more way out than Darvish's price, and that's pretty way out. This is absurd. There's really gonna be people that bet this line today. I can't take the other side, but if I was to take another side on one of these, I'd be the Angels, guys. They've at least got they're not the better bats on paper, but at least on name. So Urias should be good. I expect him to be good, but not at minus 300, guys. And both of these bullpens are fucking mediocre. There's nothing to back in there. So it's a first 5. And at that price, it's just, I can't, guys. That's a stay off. I'm sorry. I ran around in circles right there.
Yeah, I'm with you. It seems like, and I don't trust Berea yet. I know he's had 2 really good starts since being in this rotation, but it feels like he's the kind of pitcher the Dodgers could hit. And the excitement of having Trey Turner in the starting lineup for the first time today. He did appear last night, but only in a pinch hitting role, but he just got activated off the COVID list. And now he could be in the starting lineup today for the first tonight, expected to be at least. It could be a boost now for the Dodgers. And, they lost last night. They're usually good at bouncing back, especially at home off a loss. So that's why, even though I'm tempted by the Angels, I'm probably going to stay away. Great stuff. What a show. What a show. Donations, great support from everybody. Over 200 live viewers. We appreciate it so much. We will get to our best bets and Jack of the Day in just a second. But first, time for our sponsors, Manscaped and Southtown 101. Love me some Sharpie dancing and doing a jig while those commercials are on. Wonderful stuff. I love it. You guys can't see it, but it kills me cracking up every time.
Utley were dancing today.
I love it. Yeah, the Pavla. I know. Just there we go. He's giving you a demonstration right now. That's what he's doing during the ads. What you should be doing when you're in San Antonio is checking out 101. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Check out Southtown 101 in San Antonio. Manscaped, promo code PubSports. 20% off your purchase with the promo code Lawnmower 4.0. And any Manscaped product, you can get 20% off the purchase of anything on the website using the promo code PubSports. And MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Football season is here. NFL preseason, CFL are both already underway. College football in a couple weeks. Get yourself ready for football season. Sign up for an account with MyBookie.ag and use the promo code PubSports. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit as well. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. All right, let's get to it. Final decisions left to be made. It is time first, though, for Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
Jack of the Day could go with in the first game for the Blue Jays against the Red Sox. You've got Bo Bichette with multiple homers off Pivetta. Vlad Guerrero's had one, Simeon as well. So you can't go wrong with any of those hitters. Haniger and Seager for the Mariners against Andrew Heaney. That definitely makes some sense. There's a few others as well. A lot of options here today, in my opinion. Cabrera has a home run against Eli Morgan, and he's been hitting well lately for the Tigers, so could go in that direction. Correa against Pineda, Votto, Winker, Castellanos has a home run against Mitch Keller, so there's a bunch against Mitch Keller that you could go with the Reds. A lot of options today, no doubt about that. Josh Bell against Old Man Morton. I'll probably stop. Plus, of course, David Peralta against Darvish, Asdrubal Cabrera against Darvish, Eric Hosmer against Widener. A lot of good options in that San Diego game, too. So those are some I'm looking at for Jack of the Day. JD Martinez on the COVID list. So if you're wondering why the Jays are taking money, there you go. That would explain it. They have been steamed. JD Martinez, COVID list. Out of
they
the
need
game.
to give me my money back.
Yeah, we're not down. Won't play the rest of the series for the Red Sox. Won't play for at least a few days with that news. So big bat out of the lineup for the Red Sox.
Hey,
Connor,
we appreciate that, Pierre, for that news. I appreciate that a lot.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate it for sure. Conor Mac, Jack of the Day. What do you like?
Yeah, I had a few. I went with Haniger. He's plus 300. Bo Bichette plus 400. 7 for 12 with 2 homers. I got to take him. He's even more in game 2. I think he's plus 550. So if you don't get game 1, maybe look game 2. Correa plus 340. Got to take him. 11 for 23 homers. And then there's no one lines for these guys, but you mentioned it. Peralta, Marte, Calhoun. You can take some of these D-backs. I think I just don't have a number on them.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, most of the time, I don't mention the prices with the home run props, but most of the time you're going to get in the plus 300 to plus upwards of 500, but the majority, and then there's always going to be those ones that maybe you get a little more than that, but usually the average price is like plus 250 to plus 500. Sharpie, if you have any Jack of the Day props, let us know, and if not, give us your best bet.
Once again, shout out to the chat. Without you guys, we ain't nothing, guys. We appreciate it. Smash the like, hit the share, hit the replay, all that good shit. We've got Gagne versus that big dude Lewis tonight, guys, on Pub Sports Radio. We gonna be live for the full main card, the full prelims, all that. Come join us. Come say hi. I owe about forward you a fat dab when we start because I'm out of butane and I can't give it to you now. So show up, pull up, let's have a good time and make some cash. I'm gonna go Randall Grichuk, Jack of the Day versus Pivetta, or whatever you want to call him. He's got a 300 average. Pivetta. I always screw his name up, dude. I don't know why. I spell it phonetically. I did go to prison and graduate there, guys. I'm sorry. But I could read a newspaper. But he's batting 300, guys, with no home runs versus him. He's a power hitter. If he gets one hit versus him, I believe it's either a double or a home run. It's going to go eventually when you're hitting 300 versus a guy like that. Best bet of the day, guys. Like I said, I'm on the Giants over 1.5 runs first 5, but I'm also on Woodruff over 6.5 minus 120 strikeouts. The Giants are striking out at a 28% clip versus right-handers, and especially right-handers that throw 96 or higher, guys. That's been one of their weaknesses. They do walk a little bit better than league average, 9%, so I need Woodruff to go 6 innings to get me at least 7 Ks. I think he goes 6. He normally goes 6, so I'm on his 6.5 minus 120.
All right, there you go. Officially the best bet, the strikeout prop, Brandon Woodruff over 6.5 Best bet for Sharpie. Conor Mac, best bet for you. Another good day. Both of us, another good day in baseball yesterday. So what do you got for us today? Best bet.
I'm going to the one you were on last night, and I had it too. It's at 8. We got a cheater here. The numbers are too good, and I don't trust Widener. It's over 8. D-backs, Padres. I think it gets there. Darvish needs help. Widener doesn't have it. And I'm also going to bet D-backs over. It's minus 130 over 2.5. They get 3 runs off Darvish today too.
All right, good stuff. Over 8, Arizona, San Diego. Best bet for Conor Mac. My best bet's going to be 7 straight overs for this team. Atlanta, 31-20 to the over at home this year. And the total's 8.5. Not in my world. That's too low. Washington, Atlanta, over 8.5. My best bet for this Saturday MLB card. And that'll wrap up this edition of the MLB Closing Time Show. We want to thank everybody in the chat. 250 viewers. Thank you. We appreciate it. The same crew and cast of characters, us 3, are back with you tomorrow, Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, for another edition of the MLB Closing Time Show. So if you enjoyed this show today, come on back tomorrow, because it'll be more of the same, more fun, more analysis, more hijinks, more fun, and that's what we do. We keep it fun. It's not just we analyze the game. We give you good info, but we entertain as well. It's a nice blend. I always want to deliver that kind of show, not just be informative and just blah, 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 go through the games. We want to entertain as well. I think we have a nice blend of that. And the fact that you guys appreciate it in the chat watching, we appreciate that. And we so much enjoy that you enjoy what we do. So thank you very much. That'll wrap up this show. For Conor Mac, for Sharpie, I'm Ian Cameron. Let's have a Saturday, folks. Whatever sports you're betting, make it a winning one. Cash some tickets. And we will be back with you tomorrow on Sunday and by the way, UFC stream live tonight, right here on.
We be pubbing tonight.
Make sure check that out.
6 p.m. We be pubbing.
There you go. We be pubbing. There you go. A little one from me as well. Have a good Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow. Once again, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific for another MLB Closing Time Show right here on Pub Sports Radio.